Why do you grow all that food for? I can go to Kroger and get it and not have to work for it. Kroger sells it for $1.99 a pound. It's just as easy that way. Why do you have all those chickens in your backyard? You're so weird. So why do you grow all that food? Why would you possibly want to spend all your time and spend money on growing food in your backyard? It doesn't make any sense, does it? Well, for us, we do it because we believe that's what God wants us to do. We believe God created the system for us. You see, when He created, in the Bible, when He created the world, He created everything in the first 5 days, and on day 6 He created us. You see, when He spoke about life, bringing life to the ground, He said, let the earth bear seed-bearing vegetation or fruit. Seed-bearing, so you could harvest and then plant, harvest and then plant, harvest and then plant, season after season after season. And see, so God created this whole earth with us in mind. He loved us so much that He created everything you see with us in mind. He went before us to do that. And that's so important for us to operate inside that system. You see, because if you're relying on this system that is given to you from the world, you're relying on a failed system, a system that can send you greens, salad greens that have listeria or salmonella in them and make you sick. Or you're relying on a system that maybe there's a run on food and they can't mobilize food to the stores fast enough. Not that there's a shortage of it, because there's not, but they can't get food fast enough to the stores. You see, but God, He created it for us to grow and have access to, so we wouldn't be dependent on others. We'd just be dependent on Him and what He's given us. And if we operate inside this system, it's also healthier. You're not getting chemically laden food. You're not getting food that was grown with chemical fertilizers. If you choose to grow organic, that is. But if you grow organic food in your backyard, you're just getting food grown in a real manner that God intended us to eat that way. You see, you can have chickens to produce eggs and meat for you. Then you can harvest their manure and use their manure for fertilizer, and you can keep most of your fertilizer and most of your food just in a continuous circle in your backyard. You don't need a lot of space to do this. You can grow this kind of food in a small space. You see, here we have a half-acre lot. That's all the space we have. We don't even use the front half of it. We just do everything here in our backyard. So it's probably about half of a half acre, so maybe a quarter of an acre. All right, that's all the space we have. It's all the space we use. You don't need a ton of space. You just gotta work and try. And on this half acre, or this quarter acre essentially that we use, we grow enough food that my wife cans well over 100 jars of food every year, plus anything that we've grown and frozen that we don't want to can. But there's a great opportunity to grow a lot of food. Not all of your food necessarily, but a lot of food. And you don't have to have a ton of space. We have 10 raised beds and a 15 by 60 in-ground garden that we use, and we have some things in a container or in a raised bed container on the patio, and some fruit trees and whatnot around the edges in different spots. We don't have a ton of space. We have a fairly ordinary backyard, but we try to do extraordinary things in. That's all it takes. You just have to try. That's what it's here for. That's the sole reason why God created this stuff. It's for us. He loved us so much. He created it for us, to keep us healthy, to keep us going, so we wouldn't be dependent on somebody else. That's a failed system. God created a perfect system for us, a good system for us. Hey, you know what? You might have to invest a little money. Okay, a little bit of money to get started. If you're going to build raised beds, you might have to buy the materials for the raised beds. You may have to buy some dirt. You may have to buy some equipment, buy seeds, whatever. You may have to buy things. That's okay. Get out, buy them, do it. It's better than sitting around watching Netflix. You gotta get out and do it. And if you invest that money, that's okay. You've got it. You bought your infrastructure. You have it. That's fine. But then you have it for continuously. You have it again next season, and the next season, and the next season. And then you can keep growing and harvesting, growing and harvesting. And you know what? It's cheaper than going to the doctor. It's cheaper than having to buy medicines all the time. I mean, we have to go to the doctor? Okay, sure, I guess. We have to buy some medicines eventually? Yeah, I'm sure, I guess. But it will keep you healthy enough that you won't have to go as much or buy as much. If you live in these manners, if you decide and choose to operate inside of this system that God created for us, then it will keep you healthier, keep you active. And it gives you a sense of accomplishment when you've done something, you've grown it, and you say, hey, look, I planted that seed, I watered that seed, and now I'm harvesting that stuff. It gives you such a sense of accomplishment. And when you think about it, you see, God prepared that place for us. Before we were ever created, before you were ever born, He thought about you. And then when Jesus walked this earth, He created a system again. He told His disciples, hey, if I go, I'm preparing a place for you. To speak of His ascension into heaven after the resurrection. So He went to heaven, prepared a place for us there. You see, God's prepared two places for us. He prepared it for us from the beginning, and He prepared a place for us for eternity. And if you think about it again, it goes to show you that there's never been a place that you're supposed to be that God hasn't been there before you, to ready that environment for the presence of one of His children. So there's never a reason to be afraid. God's been there before you if it's somewhere you're supposed to go. I'm Jason. This is Our Creation. God bless.